far as homophobes and transphobes go, my dad was one of the most extreme. But after years of conflict, he's my biggest ally. Like, it's kind of a crazy story. There's a lot to share, so let's just start way at the beginning. My dad grew up in Canada's version of Yeehaw Outback's redneck territory. Of course, this meant he was raised around conservative values. I think my dad unironically thought you could just catch the gay. Go long! Yes! Oh god. So let's fast forward to day one of me coming out and the beginning of our very tumultuous story. My phone begins to ring. My dad already knew I was transitioning. This would be our first conversation about it. The small talk maybe lasted for about 30 seconds before he got into it. Through tears, he tells me that he doesn't know if we'll ever be able to speak again after this. He continued on to say some hurtful and very discouraging things, but little did he know that I came into this with a plan. You see, as different as me and my dad are in many ways, we are very much the same. As in, we are both extremely stubborn. Like an immovable object towards an unstoppable force. Yo, Editor Yuko here, hi, what's up? So I got the immovable object thing the wrong way around, and it probably made you think I was a little bit stupid. Enjoy the rest of the video. I was never gonna stop, and he was never gonna stop trying to get me to stop. Because of this, I decided I would play the long game, that my stubbornness would come in months or years down the road. Meaning anything he said I wouldn't take personally. I went out of my way to tell him that he wouldn't have to worry about calling me she, her, or using a new name. Weeks would go by, and he would emphasize that he still might not talk to me ever again. He also established a very important rule. We will never bring up transitioning in conversation. He brought it up every single time we spoke. For a few years, it was pretty rough, but without a doubt, the first year was the worst. And eventually, one night marked the moment that I saw a shift beginning to happen. The TLDR of what led up to this moment is COVID hits, me and my partner break up, we had 3 cats, I could only take 2, she couldn't take any, and my dad decided that he would take 1. He was nice enough to do that. So, of course, upon saying goodbye to my darling kitty, I cried. And in that moment, for the first time, I think in my entire life, my dad consoled me. Like he hugged me. I didn't even know dads could do that. The good news is, despite this, is I turned out fine. Stop writing that comment. You see, my dad's a stereotypical man's man, okay? He grew up out in the woods. Unga bunga stick go bonk. In fact, not just bonk, but there will only be bonk. You cry, you get bonk. And I would only find this next part out years later, but around this time, Mr. We Don't Talk About Feelings went to a therapist. The only thing I know about that is 2 things. First, at some point, I guess he decided he didn't want to just stop talking to me and he needed some answers. And second, Dad, if you see this, I mean this in the best way possible. It did not work. If that poor therapist heard the ways that he makes fun of her, she would be going to therapy. As you might guess, he went there for only 1 session, and yes, he does regret it. When it comes to someone like my dad, no therapist can fix him. Only he can fix him, and over the course of the next few years, he did do that. There was no overnight change. There was still some pretty rough days, admittedly, on both of our sides. But moving forward, I think highlighting those would kind of be redundant because we did that in the first half of this video. But at one point, he decided to just stop calling me son, and he replaced the term with buddy. This actually highlights some very important nuance moving forward. You see, my dad has his worldviews, and he doesn't want to call me she, her. But he also wants the best for my mental health, so this is a healthy compromise between the both of us. But despite that, although very rare, there has been a few times where he did use the terms she, her. And a year after that, he started using my chosen name. Like, you can see how far he came, right? Like, it's genuinely insane. We actually have a super fun dynamic today. Just to give you a reference, if you've seen Mitchell's vs. the Machines, I would be the girl and the dad would be my dad. It is literally so one-to-one, it blows my mind. Unintentionally, we even have a loaf of bread, a sausage, a little creature. Just an abomination. These things should not exist. You see those unnatural gecko-like eyeballs? Well, one day I threw it a piece of pepperoni. It went right between the blind spot, hit it on the head, bounced off, hit the floor, and only when it hit the floor, the dog realized I threw it a piece of pepperoni. And I wish I was making that up, but I'm not. It was staring at me the entire time. It goes without saying that I love this dog. Okay, back to me and my dad's dynamic. He even treats me different than he does my brothers. Like, low-key, he kind of treats me like a daughter. Other people have said this as well. And I don't know if you can tell, but that makes me really, really happy. And in the end, he's still my dad. Like, he's still a conservative, which proves the therapy didn't work, because no one in their right mind, am I right? But don't worry, that said, he doesn't like the Cheeto Man at all. Like, he actually hates that man. And that's probably the only thing we've ever agreed on politically. And kind of maybe the bathroom thing. Let me explain. About a year ago, he was talking about policies surrounding gendered bathrooms. And he was like, I just think that if you're born a male, you should go into the male's bathroom. And one of the most surprising things that he's ever said happened next. He paused with a deep consideration on his face, then looked at me and said, but then again, I guess if you go into the men's bathroom, that's probably a bad thing too, and went into a huff, confused, walking away. Little did he know it, he just gave me the best compliment I could ever ask for. So yeah, we just don't talk about politics in the house. So yeah, my dad was one of the most homophobic and transphobic people I've ever known, but yet today he's my biggest ally. Outside of this topic, he's the best person I've ever known. Like, he's genuinely just a very good guy, and I'm so proud that he's my dad. And oh my god, working with him through this was so worth it. If you think there's a chance one of your parents might turn out the same with this approach, then go for it. But don't even try going for that door, because I'm not gonna allow you to leave. First, you must like and subscribe and hear about this video's sponsor, G-Subs. There's a link down below that'll send you free packets to your door, literally no cost, to see if you like it. What is it? Well, here, taste it. It's a delicious caffeinated beverage, right? It's good. I've saved hundreds on energy drinks with G-Subs, and I also just don't drink coffee anymore because this is way better. If you do like it, use code GENDERFLUID to save 10% off and support the channel directly. You still alive? Ah, shit. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye!